Give him the juice.
Give him the juice. Happy Monday, everybody.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? I cleaned up for today. Got a haircut, shaved.
Look at that.
Josh still looks ugly.
Yeah, you can't see my double chin like you can yours, so fuck
Ooh,
you.
Fuck you.
I hide
That's
mine
how we're gonna
behind
start
this.
the.
That's how we're
That's
gonna
how we're
start it off.
the podcast.
That's what I do. See, look, see that double chin fat meat under there?
Nah, all I can see is the bitch underneath the hand.
Oh, you can see your nuts under my chin.
Just.
Oh, hello SoundCloud. Hello, what is it? Twitch. Hello, future Facebook.
Yeah. You mean YouTube?
Whatever the fuck it is. It's all the I stayed up till 3:30 streaming last night, so
You're such an old man.
I'm out of it. Yeah, I was moving past my combat step with a Swift Spear.
Nice.
And I was just like, and I still had like 8 viewers at like 3 a.m. I'm just
they were chugging along.
Oh, they were just like loving. I love this stupid American. Because like when I went to go find somebody to raid, it was just it was a British guy, and he was sitting next to his window, and I could see the sun shining on his face, and I was like, "Yep, you're definitely not in America, Bob, because it's sunny where you're at, and it's 3:30 a.m. where I am." And so, like, right when I started raiding him, it's like, Mom's Basement Streams raid you. And he's like, oh, man, I just punted so hard there. And I was like, join the club, bud. I was like, I'm punting at 3:30 in the morning. It's probably like
3:30 in the morning.
It's like 3:30 in the
at night
afternoon.
for
Yeah,
him.
in the afternoon, so.
Night, afternoon. They're all the fucking same, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we don't have much time to dilly-dally today. We got...
Oh, yeah,
We're
do.
jam-packed with stuff to talk about today, kind of like your butthole, typically.
Yeah, usually it's packed. But today, it was a good day. I got to go do a buy out in Ann Arbor, so I got to stop and get a couple slices of pizza.
Nice.
Yep. And then I got to
Did you get to go see your boyfriend, too?
Yeah, he came with me.
Nice.
And I got to sit in traffic for like an hour.
That's the best.
Right? That's the ticket.
My favorite part of Ann Arbor. That was actually my favorite thing about a couple of my friends moving out of Ann Arbor.
Yes. You
Was
don't have to see it.
whenever I'd go see them, I don't have to deal with Ann Arbor anymore.
Yes. But my weekend was actually pretty good. Sunday, I just ate my pillow. It was a blast.
Is that why you were up so late streaming? Because you weren't tired yet?
Yeah, I just stayed up. Like, I just wanted to get after streaming. Like, I know Russ, our streamer that streams on Sunday, I had to jump in for him. He usually streams. Sometimes he'll stream like 2 leagues, like maybe, or just play some fun games after a league, and he'll stream for like 4 hours. Lately, he hasn't been doing that, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna do back-to-back leagues, and it was 6 fucking hours.
Dude, I get hungry after the first league.
Yeah,
so.
I went upstairs, grabbed some pizza, and I was eating on stream, and Aaron was in the chat, and he started yelling at me.
Yeah.
Oh, it must be nice to eat on stream. I'm like, fuck you, bitch.
Yeah,
This is my stream.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Daddy can eat on his own stream. I try not to, though. I don't, I like to follow the rules, too, but yeah, so this weekend was good. You and I both went to the same event.
SCG Regionals Columbus.
Yeah. I started out 0-2, and then I beat my next 2 round opponents, and I was dream crushing, and then I lost my 3rd round, finally in round 5. So I was like, all right, it's time to pack it in. And
I think you still could have top 64'd if you stayed in, though.
You think so?
Yeah.
I had a chance, maybe?
Yeah, I think like X4 maybe even top 64'd.
Yeah. It was tough. It was a tough day for me for Magic. But not for you. But we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Yeah, I got to the event with and someone else's deck 9 minutes before the event started, so
Yep.
my morning didn't start off great, but
that's okay.
Day got better. But you know what other day got better?
What day?
May 19th, 2011.
Okay.
Guess what happened on that day?
Modern was born, because you told me before the podcast started.
You're right. Yeah, this was the day that Modern got introduced to Magic the Gathering Online.
Excellent.
Which, originally it wasn't even added as a sanctioned format. It was just kind of like a fun format they added for people to, screw around with when they didn't want to play Standard or Legacy. And look at where we are now, which...
Well, the same thing happened with Elder Dragon Highlander, or so it used to be known to the underground magical players.
That was before Moto, though, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, this God, we'll have to do that for another podcast. When was EDH born? As our fun fact, but
Probably about the same year as you.
no, that was 1982.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who's still alive that was born back then.
Unfortunately, you.
Yeah, I'm the only one not getting Social Security yet from that year. Still got to work.
You better work, bitch.
You better work. But yeah. So today, well, not today, but May 19th, it's kind of like what's going on right now, and this is the reason why Richard chose this one, is because we have a new format coming out called Pioneer. So if you're not down or you don't know about Pioneer, you soon will know about Pioneer.
We'll get to it a little later on.
Yeah, it's kind of like Frontier with a little bit of extra spice.
Don't give a fuck what this man says or anybody else. I am so excited for this format.
Yeah.
I loved Frontier. Frontier was a lot of fun. The games were interactive. The decks were cool. And I think just adding on some extra formats is really going to make it awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the only bad thing is I mean, who has time for another format?
Wizards. They're making GPs of it. They're making.
I know. We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
All right.
But
so,
you know what else we need to get to?
What do we need to get
There's
to?
nothing we can really look up this time, but we need to get the people to get to momsbasementgames.tcgplayerpro.com.
Sure do.
Where they can check out our new logo.
Sick.
Josh hit the gym up a little bit,
Got taller. Lost all the hair on my head.
But you're looking good in that picture, Josh.
Thanks, man.
That's
that's my internet picture, right? That's what I would actually want to look like.
That's gonna be your Tinder profile when we put Mom's Basement Games on Tinder.
You know it.
Yeah.
You know it. And Grindr.
Ooh, baby.
And Our Time.
All right, you lost me with that one.
Our Time's for old people.
Oh.
God damn you.
Oh, what about Christian Mingle?
Sure, put me on there too.
Farmers Only?
Yep, all about it.
All right. Aether Hubs?
I've farmed. Yeah, Aether Hub. Yeah, so the funny thing is on our site right now, we are selling all kinds of really bad cards, quote unquote, but these cards fit into the new the new Pioneer format. So I want to take a look at our sales and see what's going on. But yeah, pretty excited. AKA the Skipper. Hello, Skipper. I like to play the cards that say you win in the game.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Hashtag
Mazes
caps
End is
lock.
something I'm definitely brewing up.
Yeah, that's a really cool thing for the new format that's coming out is combos, right?
I have way too many deck ideas in my head.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, we'll get to maybe we'll make a list up for next week, and kind of come up with our ideas and let people know. Now, if you follow us on Twitter, that will let you know like, hey, this is what's going on. So I hashtag Pioneer MTG and said send us your deck ideas. We'd love to test them out this week. Next week, because we're going to be doing
Pioneer
Week. Yep. So we're going to try to get out that content as fast as we can for you guys. So if you guys got deck ideas, please shoot them over via Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Hey, you know where else you could send them to? You could send them to what's the platform that we never use? Tumblr. Send them to me on Tumblr.
There you go. I don't have a Tumblr, so you got to send them to Josh.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we will align some Hedrons for you.
Oh, baby.
But yeah, check out our content on our YouTube and live on Twitch coming up. It's going to be an exciting time here for the basement.
Yeah, we get to brew.
Yeah.
So
just something we don't really get to do too much. Like,
no.
There's some of the people on our channel that like to brew, but like me and you, we're a little more spiky. We like to.
Yeah. I'm a competitive guy.
But to be competitive in this new format, you're going to have to brew.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to have to be good to figure out what's good, to be good before the other good players, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which which like transitions us into our next topic, which is SCG regionals.
Speaking of good, let's pull up my list.
Oh
for
no,
this
no, I
past
meant more
weekend.
that it's a brew. I had a
Oh.
lot of people tell me that they didn't know what I was doing this weekend.
Yeah, but those are just people that aren't informed.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like when you're balls deep into the modern format. You know what the fuck mono red prowess is, and yeah. So you were running mutagenic growths. Okay, cool story. Like that's like when I run a Tarka's command in my burn deck.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing really spicy about it. The card's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So why are you not running it? Does that make you spicy? No, it just makes you maybe the better player.
Yeah.
Right? You're playing the cards that kill people, and that's what you need to do. So this weekend, congratulations,
Thank
Richard.
you.
I'm clapping for everybody.
Yeah.
And you ended up taking second place, but you did split in the finals because you said, I now have enough points to make it to the Invitational. You just gain an Invitational seat just from taking second place.
Just for top 8 in general.
Yeah, for top 8. And you said let's split that money across the board, and I'm down for that.
Yeah,
we don't even
we
need to
split
play
the
it out.
cash. My opponent needed the points because he's like somewhat in contention for Player of the Year potentially.
Sure.
And
that's what Zach was telling me, Zach Allen.
Yeah.
He was saying if he had taken this down, he would probably run away with it. But
yeah. Then on top of that, he had his kid with him, and the kid really wanted the trophy. So.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. The guy was really cool. Let's see if we click this, if it'll pull his name up. Nope. All right, we'll scroll down to this.
Yeah, I remember you sending me his name, and I can't remember what his name is.
Nicholas
Montecua.
There we go.
I swear I know that name.
Yeah, I like looked at his results. He's put up like a. That's weird. I don't know why SCG doesn't show it. He has like a lot of results with like the colorless Eldrazi deck. Like the Simian Spirit Guide, Chalice of the Void.
Sure. I want to take a look. So this is this list is the Bant Snowblade list, which is very, very cool.
Do you know who...
I lost to this. This was what knocked me out of the tournament.
I know I've told you this before. Let's see if you remember. Do you remember who was like the person that first started talking about this deck and innovated this deck?
I do not.
It was Saffron Olive. This is a Saffron deck.
Okay, cool.
A little bit of different cards here as like Oko wasn't out and stuff when...
Yeah, I think he really got a boner off Ice Fang Coddle.
Yeah, he liked the idea of like strapping up an Ice Fang or a Spell Queller with some swords.
Yeah, which is not that cool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
It's not where I want to be at in Magic, but if you like strapping swords onto your snake, then this is where you want to be at. But I found myself liking Oko a little bit more than I did before. Again, insane. I still don't think it's as nutty as everybody. I think it's just as...
I have beaten a resolved Oko once.
Okay, so I understand that, but Oko to Fairy Time Reveler are both very similar power level cards.
I would disagree.
That's okay.
I think the only planeswalker close to Oko's power level is Liliana of the Veil.
Okay. But I believe that this is in the same spectrum, and you're gonna see you're gonna see Oko continue to grow. I think in the modern format.
To Groko.
You're gonna see it Groko also in Legacy.
Also in Pioneer.
Yeah, and Pioneer too. Jeez, OP.
And Standard.
Look at this. He's playing 2 core Firewalkers in the sideboard and some Unified Wills.
Lavinia, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I watched him blow out a... what was the deck?
Yeah, that deck.
I'm really drawing a blank on its name. Storm.
Okay, cool.
He blew out a Storm player with that card.
Okay.
Because they couldn't...
nice.
They couldn't go off on turn 3.
Nice. So did you change anything for your list this weekend?
No, I just ran it back.
You ran it back from the
SCG. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really happy with like pretty much 74 of this 75.
Okay.
I just can't decide on my last sideboard slot whether it should be the third surgical, a second or a third Dragon's Claw or a second Kozilek's Return. Because of Storm winning the Open, I decided I wanted to play an extra Surgical, but I did lose a round. My only round I lost in the Swiss was to Burn, so I still can't decide. That's really like a meta call thing on that last slot that I can see going many different ways. But
yeah,
everything else I was super happy with in this deck.
yeah, and so the thing, I don't really know the intricacies of this deck because I haven't played this deck and I haven't got to watch you play it a lot. But I know Dragon's Claw also helps you in tougher matchups because it allows you to gain a little bit extra life. It's basically like not having fetch lands in your deck in Legacy when I play my burn list in Legacy. And
well, you don't bring it in against all the aggro decks.
no, understood. But I'm just saying there may be some potential there to where you can bring it in some matchups. Maybe that extra one that gets you over the hump in some of these against some of these aggressive decks on the draw.
Yeah.
So I mean I could see you maybe going up and it helping across the board, because that's basically what you want to do is you always want to have cards in there. That's what I talked about on stream last night when I was talking about having Deflecting Palm in my sideboard, is that it's not just like Alpine Moon where it's just like, okay, this card only helps me against 2 decks, whereas Deflecting Palm helps me against like 5 or 6 decks.
Yeah.
And so you want to make sure that whenever you're building a sideboard, you're always having cards in your deck that is going to go across the entire format as far as you can go.
Yeah, I definitely agree. With the main thing is like sometimes some matchups you just need heavy hitters, which is why you see like the Dragon's Claw as opposed to like some other random card that might be good against like mono red or against like burn.
Yeah.
But like that's why I chose a Braid over like people always say like why don't you just play Smash to Smithereens? I faced humans twice and it was really nice having those extra removal spells.
Yep, because it again says let's do this thing or let's do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you in different matchups.
Shrine was really, really good this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to kill someone with it, or no, I did actually. I killed a control opponent where I had it at like, God, I think it was like 15 counters.
Okay.
And I just like domed my teamer opponent.
Excellent.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Shrine because it helps you get out of those matches that you might not be able to.
Yeah.
Because of all the spot removal for your creatures, because you do have it's like what we talked about last week or the week before. You're just an infect player. That's what this deck is. This deck is mono red infect. Same theory, right? It's not the same deck, of course, but it has the same theory behind it where those creatures need to maximize the value to kill your opponent in within a few turns.
It plays a lot like what people imagine Delver decks would play like, to an extent. That's like my opinion on it. It's a very tempo-y style. Your creatures do matter a little more, but like you're a low threat, high spell count deck that has a lot of card advantage built in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really the power of this deck, in my opinion. Is yes, you can have those just like nutty, play a dude, spike you, play a dude, bolt you, you're dead. But a lot of the time it's
back and forth.
Play a dude, cast a spell, or even just like play a dude, attack on 2, light up the stage, play a dude.
Yeah, those rounds that go a little bit further, which I've played against this deck, and I've gone a little bit further into the game state, but light up the stage is what takes it to that next level.
Yeah, this is
because what you do is like, okay, poke you with it doesn't matter what it is, lava spike, lava dart, flashback, and then it's like, okay, let's light up the stage. And then you're like, well, fuck, I got rid of all your creatures. Now I got to get rid of them again because, you've basically suspended them.
Yeah.
Or, they're off in exile and they're going to be coming back next turn.
Yeah, and that's where, like, a lot of this deck, like, people think it's just, like, your straightforward aggro deck. But, like, the grind of, like, Light Up the Stage, Seasoned Pyromancer, Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah, those are some pretty threat-dense cards.
Yeah, that's where this deck really, really can take over.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of matchups that people think that they've really secured themselves in, but this deck can compete with the best of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I played against this thing yesterday on stream.
Yeah,
it was my first round opponent. Oh, baby. Take a look at that result right there. W!
That's surprising. That's a really bad matchup for you, I think.
Game one, I got in the cheeks. I got in there with a turn 3.
Mm-hmm.
Boar and I don't know if it was Grizzlebrand or not. I think it was just a pure kill with Emrakul.
Okay.
And then game two, they killed me real fast. And game 3, I chaliced on 1 and just sat there.
Sure.
So it's pretty cool.
They might not have expected Chalice. Who knows?
Yeah. So it was pretty cool.
But
yeah. So congrats on this weekend. Tell us about the schedule coming up.
Yeah. So this weekend, I thankfully don't have to book a flight because of how well regionals went. But Atlanta's this weekend.
Yep.
You can go ahead and play yourself some modern in the open, or you can play some modern or standard in the classics.
Yeah. Congratulations to you standard players out there. You can now. Yep.
No, I don't know. I've heard some stirrings that we're not sure how well the format's going to be still, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, there was the ban list that we're going to get into a few minutes from now, but I think that you guys should be pretty happy. And
there's another 3-mana planeswalker that might be causing some problems, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, who, Oko?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be just like Teferi and Narset, where it's just like, those aren't fair if you resolve those, and you're like, well, I got them in my deck too. I resolved them, so.
Turn 2 Oko is pretty brutal though. Like, makes
Absolutely.
a lot of games not games.
Yep. Yeah, so that's it for Star Cities. You're gonna have Atlanta coming up, and then of course SCG Con, which we'll talk about that again in a few weeks. We're gonna be at.
We're both gonna be there, right?
Absolutely. We'll both be at SCG Con, and if you guys need us to sign your mono red prowess cards or your Boreos cards, hey, we're gonna be signing machines that weekend.
Yeah. Oh, and which reminds me, shout out to the judges from regionals, because I mentioned that I was in I'd do a podcast, and afterwards they all took down our name and said that they're going to listen to our podcast.
Oh, awesome!
So that was really cool.
Yeah, we had a judge call during our match in round 5, and they came over and helped us out. So we had to rewind a little bit, but it happens. And my opponent had a lot of things going on. He was playing that same snow deck.
Yeah.
And there's so much going on. You're making food tokens. You're making, you're turning shit into elks. You're trying to steal other people's cards. And like at the end of the match, I was like, "Hey, can I have my creature back?" And he's like, "Oh yeah." He's like about to shuffle it into his deck.
I did that with I can't remember what it was, but I had something of my opponent's.
Yeah.
And I shuffled it in, and I looked, and I was like, "Hey, you might want this back."
Yeah. So there was a lot going on in that match, and my opponent, he was a judge. He was a level 1 judge, so he was trying to make sure that he was doing everything right, and the game state was all good to go. So yeah, shout out to the judges for this weekend. You guys ran a smooth event, and there was, as far as I know, I was only there for 5 fucking rounds because I got dunked on, but. Everything looked like it ran pretty smooth, so good job, guys.
As for the Magic Fest side of things, we're almost to the point where we get to talk about Magic Fests afterwards.
Oh yeah, the limited shit.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Still limited in Phoenix, so
So Magic Fest is not a whole lot going on. You could still go because there's still side events and stuff, and it's cool just to be at a Magic Fest.
I'm unfortunately I think me and my friend group are going to be pressured into going to a limited open or limited GP, unfortunately. Because, as you know, our good friend Stephen Bear's moving down to Texas. And GP Houston is limited, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
that's all right.
We all talked about going down so we can see him. And
yeah, that sounds like a fun trip.
Yeah. Worst case, we can hang out more in Houston.
Yeah. Houston's supposed to be a really nice place.
Mm-hmm.
But I've only been to Texas one time. I went to Dallas for a Star City event. That was it.
Yeah, I went to Dallas one time.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, it's nice. It's
big. I don't think you're really in Dallas for that. I think it's more Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, you're probably not. Yeah. It's kind of like when they say that you're at Detroit Metro, but you're in Romulus, Michigan. You're like 30, maybe 40 minutes
It's
from
from
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah. And you're like, yeah, I've been to Detroit.
Like, no, you haven't.
I was by 8 Mile. Yeah.
But all right, let's hop into our main topic, shall we?
Main topic.
Main topic numero uno. Ian Duke is back with some BNR announcements.
Is this guy just like, is he just the BNR guy?
Yeah.
That's his actual only job or what? Or he just writes articles?
I forget his like actual title,
Okay.
but like he like works for like Wizards. He's like the head person that like
Nice.
makes a lot of the like BNR decisions and stuff.
Okay. So yeah.
He's when you're angry who you add on Twitter
Oh, okay.
about like all these things.
Come on, Ian Duke. Why do you got to do that to us?
Yeah, why didn't
Okay.
you unban Splinter Twin?
Yeah. So today was a pretty cool day. I think this stuff needed to happen. Field of the Dead was banned in standard.
Pretty definitely glad about this ban.
Yeah, everybody knew it was coming.
I would have liked to have maybe, like I said, seen a little bit more. Maybe like an either Oko or Nissa ban. I understand if you can't ban Oko because he's like the head card of a set.
Yeah.
And a lot of people talk about Teferi bans. I don't personally have a problem with Teferi in standard. I think he's fine. But Field of the Dead was definitely something that needed to go.
Yeah. Everybody knew that this card was going. This wasn't a secret, and they just knew it was a problem. It was going to warp the format, so they had to give this thing an axe. And by doing that, they also had to move up the ban and restricted date to today, October 21st, because I think it was slated for another month out, and then that would have really made Wizards look bad because that would have gotten into the what is it?
There's a paper Mythic Championship.
Yes, the Mythic Championship. That's the words that I'm looking for. So yeah, that they had to kind of do a little back pedal there. But the other card that was banned is Arkham's Astrolabe in Pauper. Now, for those of you that don't even know what Pauper is, you may not.
Everybody knows what Pauper is, I know.
You may not.
Pauper's pretty popular now.
Okay, Pauper's getting more popular. But this card...
There's over 100 people in just Michigan to play Pauper.
Yeah. That's not a big percentage, though.
I mean, that's a big number for a Michigan store.
Sure.
That, like, you don't have any... You're rewarded with store credit. And on top of that, you don't, like, get an invitation to any other event. Like, I actually think if there was a Pauper Grand Prix, it would probably have a huge attendance.
We'll see, because they're gonna. It's growing. They're gonna make some sealed product for it. So.
Are they making sealed Pauper product?
Yeah. Yep. They've already talked about it.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
I must have missed that one.
So Arkham's Astrolabe is banned in Pauper, and the reason for this was, it was smoothing out every deck in the format. So if you needed to, basically it's the same thing with why you can't have fetch lands in Pioneer, right? Because it kind of...
Fetches also take up a lot of time.
Sure, there's...
Which they didn't include in the article, but everybody kind of knows because Wizards talks about.
Yeah, but this kind of... it funnels the decks into... It kind of makes it a little more narrow, where you're just going to play these... My brother was actually running mono black 4-color is what he called it.
Oh, was he playing the deck I played?
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you put those words into a full sentence, I'm playing mono black 4-color. You have some fundamental magical issues there because you're allowing a deck that's already strong to become just that much stronger, and so
there's sacrifices to have played like just like the good things that come with Astrolabe. I'm okay with the ban, but I kind of like see where people were coming from that like Pauper's mana bases have always been kind of shit. And while I don't agree, I think Astrolabe was probably a problem, but I don't think Pauper should just be like mono or 2-color decks. Like I think mana bases aren't a bad thing to have in a format.
Okay. So tell us why you think they ban Arkham's Astrolabe.
Well, so I think they banned it for the exact reasons you're saying. Like they smoothed out the mana too much.
Okay.
But I don't know. I've been talking to a lot of people who play a lot of Pauper, and they don't seem like they agree and they understand why it happened, but they don't seem super happy about it.
Well, yeah, because the card is fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to see a card. That's like when Deathrite Shaman got banned from Legacy. That's and also in Modern. And everybody's like, "Fuck you guys! That card's fucking sweet. Let us have our Magic cards."
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Sensei's Divining Top. Like, fuck you. Let us have our Magic cards. Splinter Twin players, like what you said, like, I need to see a Splinter Twin unbanned. I still, when I did that buy today in Ann Arbor, the guy that I had bought from, that was one of the things he talked to me about. Was like, yeah, back when I played Splinter Twin, people are still holding on to that. Or, back when Deathrite was in, I just hear it all the time. And so people still, they still hold grudges on this. And this will be the same thing for Pauper players. They're going to say, man, I wish we still had Astrolabe because, I wouldn't have these fundamental issues that I have when I'm playing, where I have these restrictions in my deck. I want to have no restrictions, and that's what this card allows you to do. And they don't want us to have fun, basically, and not in a negative way, right? But it's just there needs to be not there needs to be issues for decks, right? But there needs to be some type of I guess line drawn in deck building, and I think that's what they're trying to keep. So,
okay,
I kind of agree with this. Also, same thing, but I as a player, I'm like, man, let us have our cards.
Yeah.
But when you look at the game itself, you go, okay, I understand it, guys.
Yeah.
So thanks for putting a check on the game, and that could be the same thing for future bans for Modern. If they continue to support the format and they continue to want to see the thing thrive, there's talk of busted cards being taken away too. That kind of warp the format, and so everything needs checks and balances, and this is just what it did. So
okay. Well, as we've been alluding at throughout most of the podcast, WotC has announced that we're getting a new format. It's been, I think they said 16 years since the start of the set that Modern starts at, 8th edition.
Yeah, and
I think they said it's been 16 years. 16 years.
Since Return to Ravnica?
No. Since 8th edition.
Maybe, yeah, I could go with that. But so we start Pioneer at Return to Ravnica. Which is really cool because Frontier, the set, well, not the set, but the what is it called? The format that everybody's kind of alluding to.
Yep,
Yeah,
16 years. July 29th, 2003 is when 8th edition came out.
Yeah. So everybody's making parallels. So what I did today, like I said earlier, was I sent out a message to everybody on Twitter and our Facebook and said, hey, what decks would you like to see us build content on for Pioneer? And everybody came back to me with all their Frontier ideas, right? So everybody is just looking at this like, hey, we get to play Frontier again.
I think that's a pretty big mistake. There's a lot of sets.
Yeah, so
I understand it's only probably like 2 blocks. It's like 2 blocks that we add on to Frontier, but those are insanely powerful blocks.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so when you send out a new thing, a new format, people want to. It's just like Modern. They're like, oh well, when Modern came out, back in it was 2011.
Mm-hmm.
When Modern came out, people were like, oh, well, it's going to be like 1.5, and you've heard of 1.5.
Yeah.
1.5 was extended, right? So you had Type 1, which was now either Legacy / Vintage, which it was basically Vintage. And then you had 1.5, which was called Extended. And then you had Type 2, which is Standard. And so when it came out, when Modern came out, they're like, oh, cool, they made like a 1.5. That's sweet because right now all we have is Legacy and Standard, and so we have like a something that we could play with all the cards that are in the middle, and that's how everybody's going to. You're always going to kind of grab at something that you've had from the past, right? When they come out with new stuff. So this is what everybody's thinking, but 100%, like Richard said, please do not think that this is just Frontier, because you get Return to Ravnica, you get Gate Crash, Dragon's Maze, and you get 2014.
I did not I was watching like some people talk about this format. I did not realize how strong of a core set M14 was.
Dude, when we get M14 bulk, I'm just like magic boner.
I'm talking Scavenging Ooze.
Yeah.
Life, I think it's like Lifebane Zombie, the black one,
Yeah.
Intimidate. Yeah, you get that guy. Mutavault's in that set.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a really strong core set, and I didn't realize like.
Yeah, Shadowborn Apostle. You get all the slivers.
I can't remember. Ooh, Slivers was M14 and M15.
Yeah, you get all the slivers. So slivers gonna be hot, boys and girls. It's hang on.
Was Master or not Master of the Waves? Was Merfolk the Merfolk Lord?
Yeah, he was in Theros.
No, not the 2-mana Lord that gives Island Walk.
Oh, were they reprinted in? Yeah, he was reprinted in 2015.
No, he wasn't in 15.
No, he wasn't?
No. It was either 13, or it was like 12, 13, or 14, I know. But I can't remember his name, because I don't play Merfolk. We need Terrence, where are you the one time we need you?
Only one time.
Oh, God. Lord of Atlantis. There we go.
Yeah, no, Lord of Atlantis was not in 15.
Well, I know it wasn't 15. I wasn't sure if it was 14.
Yeah, but Fish might be a viable option. We'll see, because you had Fish come back in some of the recent sets, so you may be able to.
It wasn't Lord of Atlantis either. God, we don't know our Merfolk.
No, we don't. It's pretty exciting that they did take it back quite a few sets.
First time you'll ever see us look up Merfolk on this podcast. And probably the last time.
And Return to Ravnica is when you started, right, Richie?
Or
after?
It was it was after I started. I started about M13 playing Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
Competitively, I started around Born of the Gods, though.
Okay.
So
just not too far after. Yeah, so I think that you guys are going to find yourself really enjoying this format. It's much like Pauper, too.
It was M13.
Yeah, so you're not going to get Master of the Pearl.
Dang, I really wanted to master the Pearl Tridents into Master of Waves.
No.
I wanted to play Merfolk and Pioneer.
Yeah, so does Terrence.
You might be able to play like blue-green, but you don't have the Lord, which
So what do they say here about? They're just saying like, one goal in creating Pioneer was for the format to be large enough to have cross-block synergies to give a format its own unique characteristics. Oh, well put. Additionally,
why are you hating on this so much?
The ban list includes just 5 cards, and that's all the fetch lands. So, which is fine. I agree with them not having fetch lands because, like what we talked about, it
takes up so much time.
It just causes warping. Because then you get those J stacks like when it was really, really awful. The 5-color J stacks.
They were 4-color, but yeah.
Whatever. Don't fact check me.
Look. Know your shit before you talk.
But yeah, so there's some really cool stuff here. I'm excited for the format. But as a player, I'm kind of like, well, I'm not sure because they made Frontier.
Wizards did not make Frontier.
Correct.
That was a fan-made format that when Wizards talked about the format, they said, we copyrighted this format, so you have to pay us if you want to promote this format.
Frontier?
Yes, and that's why Frontier died. Wait, that might have been Tiny Leaders, actually, that they did that on.
Oh, Tiny Leaders.
But I know, Frontier didn't go off because it was not a Wizard-sanctioned format. And this is something I've talked a lot about with people.
And it just looks like they said, okay, well, give us some time. Maybe we'll fix it. We'll test it. We'll put the blocks. We'll start at the right block that we want to start at, and then we'll just go ahead and give you guys a format that's cool. I mean, there's some really powerful cards in Shadows and Eldritch Moon, and um, Battle for Zendikar and Origins. Man, this
I mean, you
set's gonna
skipped the
be
two most powerful sets there. It's
what?
Kaladesh and Aether Revolt are easily the most powerful of any of those.
Okay.
I think, like, if anything, the most banned cards are going to come from these two sets, or they're going to come from Khans of Tarkir.
Yeah, Cons is cool. Cons block was just great.
Well, like, the one thing that you didn't get to reading down is, like, they're going to keep a heavy eye on the BNR. Like, they're just starting with the fetch lands, but there will be bannings, and they will not be on, like, a random, like, BNR like this. They will randomly drop bannings with this format as they feel needed.
Okay. Cool.
So I'm expecting probably like Dig and Treasure Cruise banned within 6 months. I'm expecting. I wouldn't be surprised if like Marvel or Cat combo probably have to get banned because those decks were absurd and standard.
Yeah, because like you get, and same thing. Yeah, the Aetherworks Marvel combo. That deck is, I mean, that deck's actually almost playable in Modern. You can sometimes sneak in with that deck.
I think we might like maybe see a Field of the Dead ban depending on how the
Yeah, if
how the
they're
format looks.
yeah, if you're able to use it.
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
Like you have all the good ramp from that, but like you still have Scape Shift to Fairy. Like you have the whole deck from last standard basically.
Yeah.
And that deck was pretty powerful.
Yeah.
I think this format's gonna be really cool.
Yeah, it's cool because like I think a lot of people they get to I find a lot of people that when they're selling their collection to me they're like, hey Josh, like here's an old deck that I have, and I really enjoy it. Like today I bought the red green deck from with the Atarka's commands in it.
Yeah, Tarka Red.
Yeah, Tarka Red from Khans of Tarkir block. And he was like, "Man, I really enjoyed playing during that set." Well, you can go back, you can get in your time machine and be like, "Okay, I get to play this deck again and have fun with it and compete with it." And I think that's
And
that's
you
what
get to
they're trying to
upgrade
do.
it.
Yeah, and you get to upgrade it. So I think
Like
that's what
there's
they're
the main core of the deck I've been playing a lot in Modern Prowess. The 10 creatures for sure are still in this format. You still have Swift Spear, Soul Scar, and Bedlam Reveler.
Yeah.
But like I don't even know, like off the bat I don't even think you play Bedlam Reveler because I think you'd rather have Treasure Cruise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you just do a quick blue splash of like Steam Vent, Sulfur Falls, play 4 Treasure Cruise, and have a good time.
Yeah, you get to play blue Treasure Burn.
Yeah.
Treasure Burn's cool. I never got to play that.
Get to play a bunch of shocks.
Yep. Pretty sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have 8 1-mana shocks in this format also.
Okay.
But the really fun thing too is like for green decks, we have 8 Elvish effects. 4 Llanowar Elves, 4 Elvish Mystics. So
the birds. I'm gonna bolt the bird.
Yeah.
If I end up playing this format.
Elves
afterwards.
is another format that another deck in this format I've thought a lot about. Burn is viable. We were talking a lot about it in our groups between like Naya Burn, Red White Burn, Mono Red Burn.
Yep.
I think there might be a good zoo deck because we got Burning Tree Bushwhacker.
Yeah.
So
I'll pull up the comments that we got today from Facebook because this will kind of, it's like what you're talking about, right? This is what people in our area they wanted to see because they're like, okay, well, when I said, hey, give us some decks, and they're like, okay, no problem.
You put it in the. Oh, what did you do now?
We'll give you some deck ideas, and so this was I'll read off some of the deck ideas that people were coming up with.
60 Sculpting Tarns. I like that one.
Yeah, Nick Bird says 60 Scalding Tarns. So I don't think that's going to be possible.
You know.
So our first gentleman here says Super Friends. So Oath and Nissa, Saheeli Rai, Oko for problematic artifacts and creatures. And then, of course, Feldar Guardian Saheeli combo.
Yeah, it's going to be like the 4-color energy deck.
Stefan says Lantern Control. And then Chris comes in with, well, you're missing Bridge.
You're also missing the Lantern, part
Yeah.
of Lantern.
Yeah, so, and let's see, Josh wants to go back to the Impact Tremor days. I remember that you could roast your own, God, what was it? your not Hornet Queen, but the little one.
Hornet Nest.
Yeah, Hornet's Nest. And put 5 creatures into play, and then you could play Impact Tremors, and then you could play a Tarka.
One of my favorite combos is in this format, I just realized.
Yep.
So, no. You have Pelucranos. And you Monstrous Pelucranos. You target all your opponent's creatures. You hold priority, and then... or you have to attack with it. Do it, hold priority. And then there's this Blood Rush creature from... Artia, or like Artia or Gate Crash.
Core Claim?
No. It's 1 green, give your creature +1/+1 Death Touch.
Oh, cool.
So then you just motorboat down their whole team.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So then James Trombley says, Siege Rhino, Approach the Second Sun. Gruul Aggro is also another one. The Boros or Naya Burn is viable. Mono Red, because Mono Red's always a thing. I like that. Rakdos Aggro, which, you saw that. Aristocrats. That deck is going to be back. That deck was good. And then number 8 is Siege Rhino. Number 9 is Siege Rhino. And number 10 is Siege Rhino. So
I think people are going to...
Yeah.
They're going to be high on Siege Rhino. I think this format is
like I said, they're looking at it like, okay, we get to play Frontier again.
I understand, but what people don't realize is there's combo decks in this format.
And then he also says, just a few seconds later, he says, oh, and energy is a thing too. I forgot about that. Looter Scooter, baby. It's back.
I have a sweet, like, Jeskai Insult artifacts in this format.
Yep. And then Josh, he forgot to say, oh, well, Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise. Those are banned. But they're not in Pioneer.
They're going to be banned probably within a couple months.
Of course. Yeah, of course. We got another Siege Rhino. AJ says Esper Control. So welcome back, Treasure Cruise. Yes.
I feel like Control would rather play Dig, but
I'm not sure. I'm really gonna be impressed for somebody to make a pretty solid Control deck here, and I don't think it's gonna be the easiest thing because even at Frontier I don't remember anybody playing Control.
That's because
it's more of an aggro format.
Well, not only that, people forget how good the combo decks are in these formats.
Yeah, and you got to stop it.
People don't that's the thing I'm excited about with Wizards. Wizards is going to sanction a ban list for this format, and I guarantee we will not see the Marvel or anything like this last that long.
Yeah. Josh sent us a list here that it's your basic red deck with Dig Through Time in it and Treasure Cruise.
It's Jeskai. He's got some charms in there.
Yeah. So, and of course Nick Bird, SCG champion and champion of the world, says he'd run 60 Scalding Tarns. What a turd.
What a guy.
Love you, Nick. Abzan mid-range was my favorite back then. So again, people going back to the old Siege Rhino days. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited to see how it shapes up. Again, Richie said to me this morning when I came downstairs that he said, I hope you're ready to learn how to repick again Magic cards, because this is true. We're going to have to start setting cards aside that we haven't set aside yet. And if this format takes off, unlike the Tiny Leaders and Frontier format, we will then have to reevaluate how we pick Magic cards and get those back out to the public. So it's very interesting, the things that happened today, not only with the BNR, but with the formation of a new format. So I'm not really hating on this. I'm skeptical because of the things that have happened in the past. And I want to see new things happen for the game because that's good for us.
The biggest thing that people sleep on is the fact that Wizards did not sanction any of those other formats.
Correct. And so
getting the WotC stamp of approval is huge for a format.
Yeah, and I also have to look at this as a business owner of Mom's Basement Games, and then I have to look at it also as a player because I still enjoy to play this game. And so when I look at it as a business owner, I'm like, oh, cool, we get to sell shitty cards again, this is awesome. But and all of our shitty cards that we have are all going to either sell or they're going to go up in value. So that's great for us, right, as a business. But as a player, I want to see this format take form. I want to see them respect it, make a good ban list for it, nurture it, and grow it like Modern. So that's why I kind of have a little salt about it, because I just hope that they do it right.
Yeah, which I think they will.
I hope so.
On top of that, They did announce when everything's going to be going live. They announced that play lobby support will be basically equal to standard and modern. Uh, Challenges are going to be happening weekly on Sundays,
Okay.
but not format playoffs in 2019. PTQs will be on the following dates for this format: Friday, November 1st, Friday, November 8th, Friday, November 15th, Saturday, November 23rd, Friday, December 6th, and Saturday, December 7th. So, starting November 1st, you can qualify for Pro Tours with this format.
Oh, baby.
And then they have a mocks scheduled for November 23rd.
Okay.
So, this, I assume, is where Wizards is going to get a lot of their data on, what's dominant in the format. And
Yes.
then, they'll probably check out, like, the leagues and things like that. But
Absolutely. To see what's
these
following.
these are going to be the, like, events where, there's a Swiss cut to top 8.
Yep, cool stuff. So we can start streaming this on Wednesday, right? But we won't. It'll be on Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday. I know they said that there's going to be a lot of downtime on Wednesday because of this. Yeah, right here. There's going to be a lot of downtime with them like uploading this as a format.
Yeah.
So
They got to get stuff.
who knows if you'll even be able to play Magic Online on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Luckily, I think our Wednesday's a standard streamer.
Yeah, it is.
Do we even have a Wednesday streamer yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, he starts this week.
Does he start this week?
Yep.
I know we had him. I just didn't know when he started.
Yeah. He'll be streaming Arena this week. Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't get shut down so that they can fix everything. But yeah, Tony Lowe is he's going to be streaming on Wednesdays from now on. So excited to see what good things come from him, and hopefully he helps those smashing numbers that we're crushing right now. So
Yeah, you know what else is gonna be smashing here soon?
what it is.
MTG Finance.
Finance. Let's get into
Spell Shock.
finance. All right, so
You want to tell them about this card?
Yeah,
Because I
so-
don't understand it.
yeah, so Spell Shock. It basically what they're doing with this card is it's a pseudo pyrostatic pillar / Eidolon effect, right? Or if you want to look at it like a not Great Furnace, that's the land, but Furnace of Wrath. Okay, so it's a baby Furnace of Wrath. So with the new legendary creature, let me get his name right, Torbran, Than of Redfell. He is a 3 red, 1 colorless legendary dwarf noble. And
Dwarfs
he also,
are back, baby.
He also is my dad. So, yeah, that's me. Just holding an axe. 20 years from now. And
Did you get shorter?
I did. I got a little shorter.
Oh.
It says, if a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +2 instead. So, whenever a player successfully casts a spell, Spell Shock deals 2 damage to him or her. So, it's the same thing. Beep, beep. It's the same thing as just having a Furnace of Wrath. That's all. Just a little baby Furnace of Wrath. And so this card's $5. So it's Exodus.
Isn't that a drug?
It surely is. This was a 50-cent card. So we've been picking this card up to this point. So no need to worry that we were missing this card. But it went from 50 cents to $5 in just a couple of days here.
Think we've given any of those away at 50 cents?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So not a big deal. So yeah, pick those up find them in your bulk if you got them.
This card reminds me of you, Josh.
Heartseeker?
Yeah.
I'm always seeking out the hearts, man. You know. So Heartseeker is a equipment card that costs 4. It went up 104%. It's up from $1 to $4, and it's an equipment card for CMC that says equipped creature gets +2/+1 and has unattach. If you tap it, unattach Heartseeker, destroy target creature. It equips for 5. Sounds like dog shit, right? Well, when you have Sir Gwyn, Hero of Ashvale, or Sire, however you want to say.
I think you're right.
It is a Mardu, so black, white, red, 3 colorless human knight. It's a legendary creature from What's the newest set?
Well, this isn't actually
Eldraine?
from the set.
Okay.
It's the Brawl
Oh,
Precon
it's a brawl.
Commander,
Oh,
dude.
okay, cool. So it is a 5/5 for 6. It has Vigilance Menace, so that's good on its own, right? It's a pretty good one. Uh, whenever an equipment, whenever an equipped creature you control attacks, you draw a card and lose a life. Equipment you control have Equip Knight 0. So
You
you
can
get
equip
to.
it to Knights for 0 mana.
Yep, absolutely. So it's more of a casual thing, right? This is a casual spike.
Probably a commander.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you're a fan of the Knights and you're a fan of the Mardu Knights, then you're probably going to want to pick a copy of this up because
Mardu Knights are so beautiful. The
Yeah.
sky just looks great during them.
oh, absolutely. All right, so the other one is Questing
Keyword
Beast.
soup.
Yes, I will not read Questing Beast. You're going to have to read it on your own because it's going to take me 3 hours if I do. Questing Beast is the new 4/4 from Eldraine that costs 4 and does a million different things, right?
Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste can't be blocked with things
Yeah,
with
yeah,
2 or
yeah.
less.
So this thing
Combat
is
damage can't be prevented, and when it deals damage to an opponent, deal it to a planeswalker.
yes. Now it's showing up in Surveil. It's even showing up in Surveil Vintage decks.
Survival.
Oh, excuse me, Survival. I
Holy
don't play
shit,
Vintage.
Josh.
And
You're old enough to know what survival is still.
Let's see, 5/0 finishes in modern leagues.
I don't know if I buy that.
Yeah, I don't know if I buy that either. 33% of the meta. That's, I don't know. Anyways, but yeah, so it's starting to show up
apparently
more.
this guy's favorite format's Legacy.
I see that, and it's up 38%, which is not a big increase, right? But it's at $28, almost $29. I would have to say that this thing, it's probably going to stay in between $25 and $30. So if you need this thing,
With the banning, I think I might actually see this card going up even more.
yeah, I can see it.
I can see
up.
it probably even being like maybe a $40 card.
Maybe.
Deals with Oko really well until it becomes an elk.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you on that. And the big thing is that it has haste.
Yeah.
That's really the
Really need things to have haste with Teferi and Oko in the format.
Yes, because you've got to be able to get rid of that.
This thing deals with Teferi super well.
Yep. Yeah,
just
it does.
bops it.
Yeah.
Bop.
So, Vigilance, Death Touch, Haste is very, very excellent. That was something that we said when Eldraine came out. That was like, okay, well, holy shit. If you're going to be playing Standard, you're probably going to want to get yourself a couple copies of these because at some point you're going to be playing this card because this card is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So moving along,
might have to get me some for the MV.
Oh, absolutely. Me too, if I make it.
Mm-hmm.
Moving along to the cheap pickups.
He actually did his research for once.
Yeah, so it wasn't just like, the same. What's the same card that he always puts on here?
The Nico Bolas.
Oh, okay, yeah, the Ravager.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week it's Garruk Primal Hunter.
You and I actually agree with all of these, I think.
Yeah,
we think these are all really good cheap pickups.
Yeah, these are pretty legitimate this week. Garruk Primal Hunter's down to $5. This guy's great in Commander.
You play him in your Titania deck, I think, right? If I remember right.
Oh yeah, because you play him and then you neg 3 him, you kill him, and then you draw cards. You draw 5 cards.
Yeah.
So it's 5 green for 5 cards is amazing.
And that deck has no problem with mana.
No, not at all. And his ultimate's pretty cool for Commander too. You put a 6/6 worm creature token out of the battlefield for each land you control. So this card can get really out of hand if it survives that long.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Jace Memory Adept this week.
This guy's I played a lot of this guy in casual Magic.
Yeah, it's kind of a throwback. It's pretty cool. It's at $5, and this is it's cool to see because it is a casual card, right? And you're not going to see this in any competitive formats. Unless you see some madman playing this in Legacy or something like that.
You might see him in a little bit of Commander.
Oh yeah.
Like the mill style Commander decks.
Yeah.
Milling 10 for 0 is pretty good.
Yeah.
And if you ever can ultimate him with a lab man in play, draw 20 cards.
Yeah. It's pretty good. And so the last one here, the last cheap pickup is Rishodon Port.
D&T's dying.
D&T is dying. It's sad to see D&T go because that deck is was a lot of fun.
It's one of the few Aether Vial decks I like.
Yeah, I can't get down with fish. I can't get down with a whole lot of other.
I'm not a
Aether Vial
humans
decks.
guy.
No,
I do want to try elementals though. That deck looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely. But Port, I thought maybe goblins with the new black cards that they printed for goblins. I thought goblins would take off.
Yeah, it's here and there,
It is here.
Jim
and there.
Davis plays it a lot. He really likes that deck.
Yeah, but just not It's not like gotten out to the public yet, to where it's just like, hey, this is a deck.
Mm-hmm.
Rishadan Port really, really does well in those decks, and it needs those decks to do better. And none of the decks that Rishadan Port is in are doing well. So this card is at $14. It finally hit the record low of getting below $15, and we've talked about this in the podcast previous times. So
buy your ports.
Get your ports if you need them.
This card can't keep going down, I don't think.
I don't know.
Are you saying you can see port being $10?
Maybe.
That's
I never thought I'd see Grove of the Burn Willows at like
oh my gosh, that
$8 or something, right? Those things used to be like 40-ish bucks. It's nuts. We are we're on Twitter at Mom's Basement MTG. So like I said earlier, if you guys need to keep up with all the MTG stuff and not have to worry about finding out about Pioneer, 2 weeks after it spoils, give us a follow. Also, you can find Richard here. He's over at...
That's me.
He's on Twitter at Richard T MTG. So follow him there too. And we're on every Friday. I'm on every Friday streaming. Richie's on every Thursday streaming. And you guys can also check out... I was showing him the numbers from today. His Mono Red Prowess deck for this month is blasting off the charts.
Because almost 900?
Yeah, because he 5-0'd. So we're pretty happy about that. The streaming's going well. So check us out on YouTube. We're Mom's Basement Games on YouTube, so you guys can go in there. I think we have a couple hundred videos almost now, which is really crazy. But I'm really proud of that. So check that out. And if you're listening on SoundCloud, if you guys ever have a chance to watch us live here and come and say hi, we are on Twitch every single Monday at 5:30. We go live. So, Richie, anything else for us today?
No, just thank you guys as always for listening and tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Peace.